United States of America will be voting to elect its 46th president on November 3rd this year. USA is the world's most powerful and oldest democracy, and its elections are observed all over the world. This year, President Donald Trump is seeking re-election for a second term to opposite of Joe Biden, running for his first-time presidential election. The US presidential election can be divided into five main parts: primaries and caucuses, national convention, general election, electoral college, and inauguration. The entire process to elect the US president spans over 9 to 10 months, starting in the month of February and March, with voting in November and inauguration in January. First, in order to choose the nominee, parties first hold primaries and caucuses in different states to pick delegates, who will then go on to support the presidential nominees, while some states choose to hold a secret ballots, which is known as primaries, to choose delegates, and others choose their delegates by show of hands in an open meeting, which is known as caucuses. These are held in the beginning of February and the month of March. After the parties are done with choosing the delegates who in turn gonna go and support the presidential nominee, then comes the National Convention, which is a large gathering usually held at a stadium or a big open space. Of all the delegates chosen by the state during the primaries and caucuses, at this gathering the delegates votes and the party announces who is going for the presidential election as their representative. At this convention, voting also takes place for vice president nominees, who is also known as the running mate. The political parties hold their national convention separately once the presidential and the vice presidential nominees are announced. Campaigning and rallies and televised debate begins. Just after the campaigns are over, the general elections are held in the month of November. The general elections refers to the voting process in which every US citizen who is at least of the age of 18 years can vote to choose their president. Unlike in most elections, the person who becomes president is not necessarily the candidate who wins the most votes on election day, which is November 3rd this year. Instead, the voting for the president of the United States takes place in two steps. First, voters can cast ballots on election day in each state. In nearly every state, the candidate who gets the most votes wins the electoral votes for that state and gets the number of voters or electors in the electoral college. Second, the electors from each of the five states gather in December and they vote for a president. The person who receives a majority of votes from the electoral college becomes the president of the United States. For example, in 2020 election on November 3rd, Americans won't be directly voting for Joe Biden or Donald Trump. They will be voting for the electors on November 3rd, who will then vote for the president in December during electoral college. The electors are local leaders who collectively form the electoral college. Every party will release a list of electors ahead of November 3. Moving on to our fifth and the last stage, which is electoral college. Under electoral college system, each state is assigned a certain number of votes. There are a total of 532 electoral votes. Which state gets how many electoral votes depends on the size of its population. For example, California, the largest state of the United States with maximum number of electors, are at 55. Meanwhile, Alaska is the largest state of the United States by area. Due to low population, it has only 3 electors. The formula for determining the number of votes for each state is simple. Each state gets 2 votes for its 2 US senators, and then 1 more additional vote for each member it has in the House of Representatives. For California, this means that it gets 55 votes, which is 2 senators and 53 members of House of Representatives.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be voting. It's an honor to be in this great area, which I know so well. And we're going to make three stops today, big ones, big rallies, three big ones. Crowds have never been, I don't think there's ever been anything like this. There's tremendous spirit. I hear we're doing very well in Florida, and we're doing very well, I hear, every place else.
Mr. President, who did you vote for today?
I voted for a guy named Trump. Thank you very much, everybody.
First lady voted.
All right, thank you, Brad. Let's go.
These electors vote in December and have to vote twice for president and the vice president candidates. The candidates needs a simple majority of 270 in the electoral college to win the presidential election. Things get tricky during electoral colleges despite a party winning maximum states on the voting day might lose in the electoral college. Then comes the final stage, which is inauguration. The role of US Congress counts the votes and officially declares the winner. This is called the inauguration, when the new president takes oath on a fixed date, which is January 20th. So the United States of America will have its 46th president on January 20th. Well, let's see if Donald Trump can stay and complete his second term, or Joe Biden will win and have his first presidential tenure. Well, to sort of say that, what are the agendas and promises of the candidates in this election? We also need to evaluate them. Well, to start off with Joe Biden's agendas, which are jobs and economic recovery plan for working families, beat COVID-19, to give every American affordable health care, to secure our values as a nation of immigrants, to support our veterans, to support educators and students, to strengthen the tribal nation, to tackle the climate emergency, to provide clean energy future, to empower and protect women. One of the most amazing agendas in the world.
Thank you for your endorsement.
Now, Donald Trump's agendas are as follows: creating 10 million new jobs in 10 months, creating 1 million new small businesses, cut taxes to boost take-home pay and keep jobs in America, enact fair trade deal that protects American jobs, Made in America tax credits, expand opportunity zones, and eradicate COVID-19. When you look at the promises and agendas of Donald Trump, President of the United States, he's promising to preserve the values of American citizens and America, as well as eradicate immigration, in which in turn people calling him as racist, as it is dividing America rather than uniting it. Well, when you evaluate all this, you kinda tend to have a conclusion where Joe Biden is promising for bringing America together, bringing the world together, and having an impact all over the world with a lot of things that can help America boost economy as well as every other aspect. But there are also some people criticizing Joe Biden, as Joe Biden is proposing to raise taxes to a level of 62% in California for those people who are earning more than 400K. Some people are criticizing, but at the same time some people are appreciating it as well, because 400K is a really great pay and you don't need to have all of it. Well, let us know what you think, who is gonna win and who is gonna ace this election. What are your thoughts on their promises and their agendas? How do you see this election and how important this election is to you? Well, let us know in the comment, and thank you so much for watching. This is Extraterrestrial Facts signing off.